Welcome to an all-new Marvel cast, Explosion X hub of all things Marvel, a place to talk about everything MCU and beyond, from Avengers and Defenders to Ivan Banios and the Clown. My name is Ashley Hobley, the Explosion Network's resident Lucky Pizza host. Joining me today, Ultimate Ciaran Marchant.
Hey everyone, I'm looking forward to notch another podcast episode into our all-new Marvel cast.
Who doesn't? Also joining us, the astonishing Dylan Blight.
Happy to be here to talk about the freshest and bestest of the latest Marvel series because it's got a dog in it that eats pizza. 10 out of 10. Moving on.
Yes, so today
what a good boy.
He's a good boy. So today we're talking about the first two episodes of Hawkeye, the new series that's released on Disney+. We've got episode 1, Never Meet Your Heroes, directed by Rhys and written by Jonathan Igla. And episode 2, Hide and Seek, directed by Rhys and written by Elisa Climent. Dylan, what did you think of Hawkeye?
I really like it. I think it's really fun. I think it's got a chill vibe. I think that not having big end-of-the-world villains is fun in the MCU. I think
No, Dylan! Everything must be about saving the world from being destroyed.
For sure. I like all the Christmas music. Enjoy it. It's got a good boy dog in it. Hailee Steinfeld's really great in this character. I'm loving her already. Hawkeye's whatever. Like, he's fine as a character. Like, here's the thing. Hawkeye's a character no one really cares for. So, like, you're already sort of in a uphill fight, I feel. Uphill battle, to a degree. Whatever. I'm not saying people dislike the character. It's just, like, probably at the bottom of most people's list. I think they start with an interesting direction in this.
Dylan, would you say that Hawkeye has the worst branding of all the Avengers?
I would, and I'm glad they have a conversation about it in this show because it's really important third person, like fourth wall breaking conversation about the character and its branding. And also shout out to Captain 17. I really enjoy it. I think it's fun. I actually think they have all right chemistry. I've seen a lot of takes saying that they have bad chemistry. I think the chemistry is okay. I think they purposely sort of have a bit not meant to automatically be like sort of perfectly melding together. It's obviously just going to take a bit of time, and I think that's perfectly fine. But I've enjoyed their banter back and forth. I enjoy the way Cade is portrayed in this, where she's sort of a fangirl, but she's not like super annoying fangirl to the point that it's sort of ridiculous. Like it's a nice level of, hey, you saved my life when I was a little kid, so of course I'm like, can you sign my bow and everything like that. The villains are really fun. The cliffhanger reveal at the end of the second episode was really cool. I had a really just great time. I think also as a fan of I'm blanking on the director's name. The motherfucking nice guys and
Shane Black.
Shane Black. As a Shane Black fan, big fan, I can remember his name. As a fan of his movies, it just, and I've said this since the trailer, right? I'm like, this feels like a Shane Black thing. And to a degree, watching this still feels like a Shane Black thing to me, even though he's not involved at all. It's an action Christmas thing that is action movie with comedy, with like serious, like mob villains and stuff. Like it 100% feels like something he would do. And I'm all about that. So yeah, I finished the first two episodes. I was like, more. Where's the next one? Like I would have happily kept watching more. I was really enjoying my time with it.
Cool. Ciaran, do you also feel like this is a spiritual successor to Iron Man 3?
No, I think this is another fantastic arrow for Disney and Marvel to add to their ongoing quiver of fantastic MCU TV shows. I think this
You're
movie...
so proud of yourself right now, aren't you? You're sitting there like, I'm so proud. Oh, look what I did. Yeah.
Look, subtext, I'm going to try and fit as many Arrow and Archer-related puns into this whole episode, so hold on to your butts, people. We're going to hit a bullseye with these ones. Now, I think the movie captures... the first two episodes captures the feeling of some really classic Christmas movies that I grew up with and love. Like, it very much is the kind of... that Christmas-themed... especially in New York, you've got your Elf... Miracle on 34th Street, so many great Christmas movies I grew up with watching that were centered around... Pardon?
Sorry, don't continue.
No. Die Hard is also appropriate, but, it's fine. But I think everything
Home
down
Alone.
to... Home
Lost
Alone.
in New York.
Yep. Home Alone 2, definitely.
Specifically,
definitely. Yeah. Donald Trump's not in this one, so that's a positive. But no, I think it's well, we yet to see.
He might have been one of those people in that underground.
Took an arrow to the knee.
But I think this show is off to a really good start. I really enjoy Hawkeye and Kate Bishop's interaction so far, because it would make no sense if they had good chemistry, to be perfectly honest with you. One of them is an awkward fangirl that is trying her best to kind of make everything together and to protect people. And the other one's Hawkeye, who is sick of everybody's shit and doesn't want anything to do with this girl and just wants to be on his Christmas, like enjoying Christmas with his family. Like, I think it'd make little to no sense if they had good chemistry. So, I think I really actually like Hawkeye's position in this one. Hawkeye coming off the back of Infinity War, he spent those 5 years as Ronin brutally murdering. Even though they were bad guys, he was murdering a lot of people. And going full vigilante and having to deal with Natasha's death that, in his mind should have been his death, that so he could repent and pay kind of his payback for everything bad he'd done. And now he's back living his life and trying to, come to grips with that. I really like the fact that, he has hearing loss problems. And when he's asked, when did that happen? What's going on? And just the cuts to all the different things that he's been a part of or been near when they've happened with loud explosions and others. I think it's a really nice touch to the character and kind of putting him on the right track. And I really like that even though Kate is, she spent much of her life learning how to do archery and fencing and all these martial arts, she isn't perfect and she doesn't have that real world experience, and she's still kind of trying to put it all together and learn from it. Look, I think it's the only part that slightly bothers me is just not even bothers, but just Kate's relationship with her mother. I think is an interesting one, but at the same time, there is some really annoying parts of it that I'm like, where Kate's mother is not wanting her to get, don't go rushing off to get herself hurt or vulnerable. And then you just look back at, all of her life growing up where she's, off the moment of her father's death, she's asked for a bow and arrow after saying that she wants to protect people. And then she's doing all this fencing and self-defense and martial arts and archery all of her life. It's like, what do you expect she wanted to do with all this shit? Like, honestly.
She wanted to protect herself and work for a mum at a security place.
Apparently, even, it's, but no, I think overall I enjoyed it. What is with her having access to this security system that can apparently just track people down extremely easily? Like, it's just a case of putting in a phone number or putting in the name of somebody and they just knowing locations, I think is an interesting
Seems accurate.
point. Seems accurate. I will say, I love the Tracksuit Mafia. I was dying at most of their interactions throughout this. I thought it was just the small lines, the dumb idiocracies of them. I was really enjoying, and I thought added that kind of the same as those Christmas movies, like the Home Alones with Dan and Marv, like just having that stupid kind of foil to the heroes and having that there. And then also, who doesn't love a dog that's missing an eye that eats pizza? Like, what a cute boy he was. I was like, when she was saving him and he made a little like scared noise, I was like, oh God, please, not the dog. Just protect the dog with everything you've got. But no, I enjoyed it overall. I think it's in a good direction. I'm excited to see what else comes of it.
Yeah, like you guys, I'm on board. I'm really enjoying everything about the show. Obviously, Kay Steinfeld's fantastic as Kate Bishop. I'm enjoying even Clint Barton, like kind of in an interesting place where he's struggling with not only what he did as Ronin, I guess, but also reconnecting with his family, which I guess this is kind of the first one we've kind of had where people who got blipped and people who didn't get blipped are coming back together. He's been away for 5 years while they're just popped back, I guess.
I mean, you see it in Spider-Man, but they just make it a joke about how some kid's like now older and he's the younger brother or whatever. Yeah.
And now he's older, but yeah. and the kind of disconnect he has, and obviously him having like still feeling a bit of trauma from
Also
letting Natasha die.
This is the first character origin that directly links back to an event that the Avengers were a part of, really. Like,
I really loved the opening,
which I loved.
Series.
Yeah, no, I did love the opening.
It was
and
great.
I loved how that involved the Battle of New York.
I mean,
the
the only thing that would have made it better was if they didn't write 2012 at the start.
Oh, did they? Because I missed that. I'm blind,
yeah, because
obviously.
as soon as they said as soon as it came out the air, and they kept there's all these big windows showing you New York in the background. I was like, yeah, okay, I see. Chitauri, let's go. When's it happening? You know, like very obvious.
Yeah, I'd also be interested to go back to Avengers because I get the feeling that building is actually from Avengers. You know,
possibly from that moment with Hawkeye falling and stuff like that. Like possibly. Yeah.
It would be cool if they made sure it looked like the exact same building, like detail-wise.
And we go back
Hawkeye
in the film and we
that.
see there's like a little girl standing there. Whoa, what?
Yeah, I don't think the girl's going to be there, but if the house is
I
there,
mean,
that's
come
still
on, you own the movie. I mean, Disney on
just
Disney Plus, just stick her in there.
add it in, yeah.
Why aren't they doing that more? You know,
I'm actually not against it, to be honest. Like little stuff like that, I'm all for it. In Marvel stuff, go for it.
Go for it, living, breathing thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, really enjoyable. Lots of fun moments. Obviously, we got Hailee Steinfeld like destroying the cocktail. What a great!
That's pretty funny.
You know, after her first shot, where the tennis ball just bounces off the bell,
Bloop, flies off. Yeah,
great sound effect. Yeah. I also enjoy her relationship with her mum's quite interesting. Obviously, in the comics, she's like they're quite like they're not fans of each other. You know, or at least she's not a fan of her mum. You know, she's kind of, kind of wants to do her own thing and that kind of stuff. Obviously, we got the character of what's his name?
Jack Duquois or something.
Jack Duquois, Duquence. I don't know what to say. Who's obviously Eleanor's new fiance. In the comics, I guess this is a slight spoiler. He's the swordsman.
He's a bad guy?
Shocker.
No way.
This guy, he knows how to use a sword. So yeah, that's going to be interesting to look forward. Going forward, of course, we get introduced to Armand III, who's an old man, who's his uncle, who has some sort of confrontation with Eleanor before he gets murdered in his house.
Oh,
and he's got his own. He wrapped monograms butterscotches.
Important plot point.
Also, there is an Armand the 7th, which implies there's an Armand 4 to 6, who are younger than Armand the 3rd, but older than Armand the 7th.
Correct. That's how that works.
I think.
Unless
at the start of that, there was 5 Armands in the world.
There was one Armand,
more than
and
I
then
ever
there
knew
was
there
another.
was.
Yeah.
Or like some crazy parent in that family had already called dibs on both Armand the 5th and Armand the 6th. And so somebody else was like, oh, I guess ours will be the 7th then. That's how that works.
Yep,
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, so obviously we got Hailee Steinfeld, Kate Bishop going to this party, sees Armand the 3rd going down to a cool underground auction house, decides to tag along. She looks great in tuxedo, very cool look.
I think all
much
of
better
her
than the
looks,
red dress.
all of her looks are pretty fucking great, to be honest, throughout this whole thing, but especially the tuxedo. I liked it as a touch.
Yes. And you should go down to underground auction where they're selling off things they've scavenged from the Avengers compound, including, of course, the Ronin sword, which ends up in Jax's possession, and the Ronin suit, which, is the problem behind everything after, Kate decides to wear that so she can beat up all the other people. How do you feel about the action in this movie? Series? Pretty solid fights, or?
I think they're solid.
Yeah.
So far, I think they're pretty good.
I don't know if wine bottles make that sound when you hit people with it.
No, but wine bottles don't, in theory, break. Especially if they are more expensive wine and they've been made
but
to
just the sound effect, I don't know if it makes that sound.
What if it was like champagne bottles or something?
Like, you would think they were full when... Like, they wouldn't be empty wine bottles.
No,
So-
they were definitely full.
So, no, I think they would. Like, I don't think against it. I think I actually liked that touch that they weren't just breaking wine bottles left, right, and center. Because that's often the thing where it's like, a wine bottle doesn't actually shatter that easily as it does in most movies. or
Not a full
scenes.
one, yeah.
So, no, I don't mind. I don't think it's that much of a problem.
Here's a good question. What's the significance of the watch? Obviously, the Tracksuit Mafia break into the ocean trying to find a watch. Do we know?
I'm guessing it's Tony's watch.
No. So, I don't know if we're jumping ahead too far, but like, so the person at the end of the show is,
The end of the second episode.
yes, Hand, whatever the fuck her name is.
Echo.
Echo, there we go. Kingpin's daughter, or whatever she is. in the comics, right? So I'm presuming it has something to do with her, or at least Kingpin, or something along those lines. That would make more sense. I'm gonna say it's not. The reason it's wanted is not because it's related to any of the Avengers, but because it has significance to Kingpin or his daughter, or that direction of the MCU that we haven't been introduced to yet.
Interesting.
Incoming Matt Murdock Daredevil. Let's go.
My prediction is it's got something to do with some sort of world-ending device that they need to stop somebody from taking. That was in
Wow,
the
you're
Avengers.
gonna ruin my fucking ruin the show.
I think it's going to lead to an activation key to a whole bunch of CGI animatronic robots that Hawkeye and Kate Bishop are going to have to fight their way through to the end, to the boss.
Sounds about right to me. So we can all assume that Jax killed Armand, right? I think it's pretty obvious.
Is it almost too obvious? Do you
Maybe.
think Jax was there prior to Kate, but Jax was also too late and he'd already been stabbed?
Don't know.
No, it'd be kind of weird though. Well, not weird, but or do we think that Kate's mother has more involved in this seedy?
Because obviously they had that confrontation. Yeah, they didn't like each other.
And Armin's problem wasn't actually with Jax; it was just with her and whatever's going on in that relationship.
Interesting. It's all quite interesting. Of course, we got, how do we feel about the Avengers music? The Steve Rogers musical, the musical, which
Terrible.
is advertised the hell out of in this series. Like, anytime there's a TV or a billboard showing trailers or signage for Rogers the musical.
All
This
I
is
can
realistic.
say is, finally, a Marvel stage show that didn't end up killing people and, hurting lots of people.
Rip
My
Spider-Man.
favorite
turn off
part
the
is
dock.
just Clint being like, "Well, that guy wasn't there."
Yeah. So, other great moments. So we got Hawkeye trying to get the Ronin suit, and he has to do live action
My
role playing.
God. Look, the lead up to that, I was internally cringing. Because I'm like, oh, no, nerds would actually be like this. This isn't good. And then just the whole scene of him slow motion, like taking care of all those people, but at the same time clearly enjoying himself and like being a little bit more flamboyant and over the top with what he was doing. I was like, all right, that's some good shit. This is
Yeah, I like the scene. I don't think it was so I'd call it like,
It wasn't poking fun.
it wasn't Big Bang Theory is the way I'd like to put it.
Yeah.
It seemed like it would go in that direction at first, but I think once you got in, I don't think any of the characters were your like typical like
Look,
because that's what if I think
wasn't
TV
just a
nerds
bunch of it wasn't
bad.
just a bunch of introverted, sweaty white boys or men. You know,
like that dude comes up at the end and he just talks like a normal person. He's like thank you or whatever. Like
and his name's
whatever.
Grills. Like that's
pretty cool name.
That's
He gets to call him Clint.
Yeah. No, I think the scene was pretty
and
fun.
the main people, you know, the main people that Clint interacts with to get into the LARP are two women. Like, you know, I think it didn't, like, at least show diversity in that there are multiple people enjoying that. Instead of just white men.
Sure. Anything else from these episodes that kind of you guys want to talk about or stood out?
We mentioned the dog.
Why was
Very
nobody
important.
pissed off that the jacket?
The
got
dog had the
stolen?
leash like on it though, right? To start off with.
I don't know about to start with.
She didn't just suddenly get a leash.
I don't know, but where did the watch go?
That's a good question.
Why
I feel
are they
like
actually
she put
after
it in her
Kate?
house, right?
Why are they actually after Kate Bishop other than?
I assume the dog took the watch, right?
Yeah.
But where did he put it? In his like pockets, or did he
Swallowed
swallow it?
He
or-
swallowed it. Yeah. Swallowed it.
Like most
So
of
you're
the
gonna
time,
have
the
to
dog
kill
was
the
just
dog and
Yeah, well, they're after her because they see her enter the house and then they think that she's the Ronin. So now they're like dead set. She's Ronin.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
yeah.
Even
Her
without the
name
costume
was
on.
on the buzzer, Ciaran.
Yeah, her name was on the
Also, why would you like? This just shows the failure of humanity in the current human society. Is why would you volunteer firefighter steal a leather ninja jacket from a fire scene that has had clear
Because it looked pretty cool.
arson, and then the same night post a TikTok or
I mean-
like a YouTube short online with it?
I mean, sure, it's not evidence in a like massive arson case, but you know. Ninja suit. When you see one, you need to get it. Otherwise, it'll be gone by the time you come back.
Also, it feels nice having Hawkeye's kids growing up. I think is a nice point. Like seeing more of them and their interactions with them, I think's been very nice. Because I think our main kind of, other than the opening scene of Infinity War, was like Age of Ultron, and they were very
Endgame,
young
you
during
think yours?
Endgame. Yes, sorry,
Endgame
it
when
was
they disappear in the
Endgame. Sorry, it
background, right
was.
in the
Yes.
first scene.
Yeah, no, there's that. And then, yeah, and we haven't seen them really much more than that since Age of Ultron when kind of the oldest two were fairly young and in their lives. So, yeah, it's nice to see their relationship.
Yeah.
I appreciate how this show's going to make more people appreciate Tony Dalton as a Better Call Saul fan, where he's fantastic in that. So, looking forward to seeing more of him. Jock! Oh, how do I say that? Yeah.
I also liked, we saw it in the trailer, but Hawkeye grabbing the Molotov cocktail and throwing it back. That's pretty great.
It was pretty cool. Pretty badass. I like how it just lands and they're all like, how did that happen? Like, they just freaked out. That was like such not an option they
Also-
thought could happen.
Kate shooting the fire extinguisher, and like in other worse like movies, it would like perfectly put the fire out, but really it just went crazy and almost like hit them and then goes rocketing outside.
Also, her just falling in at the end, I was laughing at because you can tell Clint's like going like, yeah, I think, like you can tell he thinks it's her, like he's like assuming it's probably her, and then she just falls down. Just how he's like, hey, but she's like so calm. It's kind of cool. She's like, oh hey guys, I forgot my gun. I didn't realize I had to bring guns. You know, like,
I like her awkward confidence. Like I enjoy that.
Yeah.
That fun, and I think that's very. I think that comes across in a lot of her roles as an actress. But I think it's part of her charm through much of this is her, you know, the awkwardness of her conversation with Jack, like just the obvious tell that she knows there's something up and wanting to try and work her way out. And I like it the fact that, you know, I was waiting for her to just burst out and be like, why did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire? But instead of the Goblet of Fire, it's why were you at a black market auction underneath a charity event, you know? Like, but no, they're working their way to it, so interesting.
there's certainly lots of set up in these first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Like multiple storylines, and red herrings, and MacGuffins, and whatever the hell else to bring all these characters together. So it's glad it was a 2-parter, because now I guess the ball's like well and truly rolled up and ready to roll through the rest of the season.
Yeah. That's really good. Alright, let us know what you thought of the first 2 episodes of Hawkeye by going to explosion.com/Twitter or jump into a Discord at explosion.com/Discord. If you want to help us out here at All New Marvelcast, let people know about the show by leaving us a review on our Apple Podcasts or on Podchaser, or literally just tell people about the show. We'd really appreciate it. And if you like this episode, thoughts with it all, head on over to a Ko-fi page at explosion.com/supports. Make sure you watch next week's episode of Hawkeye, and join us then for another All New Marvelcast.